What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another SLA video. Happy Saturday, everybody. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. We got ourselves a BoT guide for free-to-play players. That's right. This can also help some dolphins and some whales. I'm going to be doing it on my free-to-play account. I usually like to do this because it's a little bit more relatable, and I can give you guys different strategies on different ways of getting the job done. I've literally been enjoying BoT lately a lot more now that I'm actually trying a little bit. Usually I was just like, whatever, I hate BoT, but quite honestly, it's been a lot more enjoyable. And this week, we have ourselves none other than the giant spider mommy. Maybe it's a daddy. I can't really tell. I think it's a mommy because it's giving birth to all the spiders. But we have probably one of the either most annoying BoT bosses or one of the best BoT bosses. I don't know how you look at it, but I'm gonna give you guys some tips and tricks, my setup on getting it done, and what you want to focus on with specifically the light team. Now, I don't have a good win team, so I'm not bothering with the win team. I'm specifically focusing on the light team. Now, we did this live, of course, so I'm gonna show you guys my live footage of what I got done. Battlefield of Time, you guys can see it right there. Here's the progress right now. If you look at it, we are at rank 1 at 119. I could probably drop this down to 115, to be honest, if I just get a little bit more into it, and I might do that, but I will show you guys my setup and what I did to get the job done. So let's go into the actual breakdown of the entire free-to-play account and what we did here. Okay, so first off, Gun-Hee, Min, and Cha. Yes, that is the setup. This setup works best in my opinion, and there's a couple tips and tricks you need to know. First off, shadows. Make sure you have Bestie, Serbi, and Iron. Those are going to be the best ones to get the job done, and make sure as well that if you have an A5 Min, now your Cha has the most power, right? If she has the most power, he will buff her attack or her ultimate specifically by 50%, and that's going to be a big factor in all this, okay? So make sure that your Cha is fully decked out with the best possible gear just to outdo these guys. An easy way to do that is either put all level 1 gear on everybody and then just take some people's cores off or give them smaller cores to make it work out, okay? So you guys can see that's the setup. Now, in terms of gear, you want to go with solid analysis so you guys can break a little bit faster, and then you want to put Wishing Star in here. Now, if you don't know what Wishing Star does, is when you tag in or tag out, increases the attack of your members by 28% for 15 seconds. This is a big one, so you want to make sure that you actually do the tag out with Gun-Hee. And then for Min, I just put Full Blessing. You can probably switch this up to whatever you deem fit, but I think Full Blessing is probably the best way to go. And then over here, you guys can see I went with crit damage specifically, and Obsidian. Now, this is important. A lot of people are going to say, well, Payne, the crit's already super high. Why would you put this on? Well, the extra 32% crit damage from toughness is a big deal, guys. So that's the setup you want to go with in terms of how I did it. And in terms of skills, you're going to see a couple level 10s here, a couple level 10s here, and probably all level 7s just for CP purposes. But CP doesn't matter here, of course, because we're way higher than the 50k. And then in regards to cores, the only ones that actually matter, guys, realistically, is going to be this core for Gun-Hee, which is going to increase his core damage. This core over here, which is going to give Cha a little bit more attack. And then you guys can see that the ones here are important as well because they reduce the skill MP usage. So that's going to be a big one also. Min doesn't really need anything, to be honest. He's good as he is. So that's the setup you want to go with, and those are the actual methods. Now, there's a couple tips and tricks here I'm going to show you guys, and I want to show you guys how I did it myself on the live stream. Okay, so here we go. Here's the live stream right here. So you guys can see I got 123 originally. Now, I didn't want to stop till I got the right number that I wanted, and that right number to me was going to be 119. So I'm going to show right over here how I did that run and what we did exactly. There's a couple tips you guys need to know and a couple tricks for this run to make it work really well. Okay, so here, let's go ahead and start off right around this area. I'm sorry if the quality is absolute garbage. We had a little bit of lag during the stream, but here, let's put this on. So here's what you want to do. Okay, we're going to start from the beginning here of this whole video. So this is probably a failed run right here. So I restarted it. Okay, now a couple of things you want to note during this run. So first off, you guys can see I start with Gun-Hee. I run all the way to the corner here, and you do skill 1. You guys can see it's on cooldown here, and then you go right into your core. Okay, skill 1 won't finish it, but your core will. Once that breaks, you want to go a little bit further up, close to the other spider right there, and you want to go ahead and cast your second skill. Again, sorry for the quality. It's just from the live stream. So that's going to go ahead and suck everybody in around him and probably kill them all with one shot. And then once you've done that, you want to move on, right? And then you want to move on to the next egg, okay? So once you move on to the next egg and you kill off that egg, the next thing you want to do is you want to go to the left towards the next set of eggs, kill that, and then QTE Min or summon Min in. It's one or the other is fine. You don't have to QTE. You can just summon Min in. The moment you do that, get Cha in there, start doing your dance. You guys can see everything pretty much broke. Don't use your dance the whole time. You guys can see I bring in Gun He again, go right to the middle, suck everybody in, kill them off, and that should give you about 0.28 seconds. Now, you can do this a little bit faster. I did screw up just a tad bit in that. I think you'll probably get 0.25 if you're fast enough with the light team, okay? So here you guys go. Now, as soon as he pops in, start with Gun He, get that light debuff up there, switch over to Min, cast in your skills right there. You guys can see the main one you're looking for is Punishment, okay? And then you bring in Cha, couple dancers right here. And then don't finish it off unless you do a core. There it is. You guys can see now we're at 40 seconds. Again, you can do this for about 38 seconds if you're fast enough. Now, this is where it gets interesting, okay? The boss. The boss itself needs a little bit of timing, okay? So first off, if the boss does decide to run across, you can stop the entire run by casting Gun He's ultimate. It'll stop him right in his tracks. The boss will not move, okay? So start off with your breaks. What I like to personally do here is do the breaks without having to cast the ultimate. If you don't have to cast the ultimate, that's great. You guys can see full break here, no ultimate. At that point, I go ahead and summon my shadows, which are going to now add a few more debuffs. You guys can see already we have defense down. We already have light defense, right? That's iron doing defense down. And now we have combustion. All right, combustion was on there. Now you cast Min with punishment, his ultimate, and then you bring in Cha. Now, Cha is going to do Dancer roughly to about 72%, okay? Now, this is where you want to kind of take it easy. You guys can see Super Armor on the boss is off, okay? 69% is fine. What you need to do is you need to hold off until this happens right there. You guys see that? Super Armor came back on. Now, when Super Armor comes on, the next thing you need to do is not push the boss. You need to make sure the boss starts doing a long casting animation. There's a lot of moves it can do. It can do the stomp animation. It can do the bleed animation. Hell, it can even do the running animation. As long as it's doing something that's not going to like stop, make it go up in the air, you're in the right spot. Okay, so here you guys can see, we're going to just wait. And you guys right there, I don't know if you guys saw that, but I'll go back for a few seconds. Okay, and you guys are going to see something here. You're going to see that the boss is starting to cast that stomp animation I was just referring to right there. You guys see that? So the moment their eye starts to blink like that, cast your ultimate. Don't even wait. Cast your ultimate now. That Super Armor is great because it's not going to stop it from going up. It needs to finish this animation. So you cast your super, well, the moment it does that, you can see Super Armor's coming up. You cast your ultimate, okay? The ultimate's not going to kill it, but it'll dwindle it down to about 30%. Now, this is where it gets important. You do skill 2 with Cha, right before it goes, and look, he's busy doing this move. Skill 2 with Cha, you guys can see it's at 15%. Go in with Gun He, and you can finish off the rest with just basic skills. And right there, we got ourselves below 120. We got ourselves 119. Okay, so that's the trick. The real trick is the first time it gets out of its normal, phase where it does the Super Armor, you got to let the Super Armor come back. So again, stop around 65%. 65 is perfect. Don't go below that and wait for that Super Armor to come back and be patient. Let it cast a skill. Any long casting skill is a big deal because it'll give you the time to cast your ultimate and then bring in, do the skill 2 and then bring in Gun He to finish off the rest of the job. So there you guys go. That is my personal free-to-play guide at 119. If you like the guide, please leave a like, subscribe, let your friends know about me. I do birthday parties as well. I'm just joking, obviously. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, also don't forget, content creator program has ended. If you did not extend, you can re-support again next season. It'll be coming out probably the next week. And also we have the Korean dev stream on Wednesday, Sharp live stream on Wednesday, and the full testing and content and summoning for Jinnah on Thursday right after maintenance. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.